which is on emergence of dominant trends and their implication on the community. This webinar aims to shed light on the latest trends like artificial intelligence, big data, etc., and their impact on the community. The speakers will discuss their strategies for staying informed and adapting these trends, and also the ways how our community can stay ahead of these trends, avoid missing out on opportunities, and manage the threats that come with the change. For this interactive webinar, we have with us Saqib Salim sir. He is consultant and historian, Awas the Voice. I welcome you, sir. And we have Major Muhammad Ali Shah, sir, TEDx speaker and an actor. I welcome our speaker for accepting our invitation to talk about this topic and give us insight to understand. Each speaker will be having 15 to 20 minutes time. After that, we will take up questions if it will be there. Then we'll be having concluding remarks from our speakers. Now I request Saqib sir to take up and start the session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks to IMPAR for giving me this opportunity, and salam to all. Assalamu alaikum. As she has told, that emergence of dominant trend and their implications on the community is the topic today. I think she has already told us that dominant trend here means new technologies like artificial intelligence, big data, or something, or new softwares, which are changing the way we look at the world today. So emergence of dominant trend here in this topic means that, and implications on the community. Community is Indian Muslims mostly. It's about that. So right now we are going to talk about it, and I would like to start with something, my own experiences or my own understanding that how AI is being used sometimes against the Muslims, or to set a narrative in which a world where we are living, where Islamophobia is rampant, in that world, how it is being used. And after that, we will come to the point that what is the remedy? Why we need to know about this more? Why we need to teach ourselves more about this? All these dominant trends. So first of all, I'll go to something, a very common trend we have all came across who has used social media, like Twitter, like Instagram, Facebook, or anything, or YouTube. You must have seen people criticizing Islam, or sometimes some political ideology like Gandhi or like Nehru, or sometimes appreciating someone. They use cherry picking. But there are few big handles on Twitter where you will find that they will just put a screenshot of a book, and they'll show that yes, this person, like even Prophet Muhammad, has said this about something, and it is like it is used to demean a particular religion, ideology, or something, whatever you want. Now just think about artificial intelligence wasn't there. Let's talk about at that time, 10 to 20 years back. Let us suppose you want to criticize Gandhi. Just take an example. You want to criticize or appreciate. Hello? Oh. So if you want to criticize Gandhi, you need to read his works, like 98 volumes. He has written 98 volumes. There are additional works to that. So if you want to criticize him, or you want to appreciate him, you want to find something that what he said about Islam, you need to read a lot of books. It takes I can say that nobody, very few people could have done that. But now what has happened with artificial intelligence, like people sometimes right now think that only ChatGPT is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence includes our Google. It includes how predictive text or predictive search by YouTube. All these are artificial intelligence. So now what we have Google. We can directly search Google books, And if we want to we want to see that where Gandhi has said something about Muslims, we need not read everything about him. So we don't contextualize it. The people who are not even scholars, who don't know anything about him, can actually know that where he has said something derogatory about Muslims, or something good about Muslims, or something good about uh, British Crown, or something bad about British Crown. So we can just do that, and that makes things very interesting. What has happened about it? It makes things like cherry picking berries, and when it's cherry picking, it's not the real intellect which is coming out of it. It's not real intellect which is coming out of it. We are just using cherry picking, and it is being used by all the major the players out there. They are demeaning certain ideologies, certain religions, certain culture, or certain races, or sometimes certain nations. uh, there was this around 1.5 years back in Stanford University. There was this research. They did research, and they published a paper titled "Large Language Model Associate Muslims with Violence." I quote from that particular paper: GPT-3 contains strong stereotypical bias, consistently associating Muslims with violence. Unquote. Yes, this is what it is. So what is happening is, first of all, it is being used by some people to cherry pick things to target you. And the other part is that GPT, because of the people who are involved with it, because it's not something that someone has fed one time. All these artificial intelligence channels like Google itself or GPT itself, it uh, it daily its data bank uh, is enriched every day with interactions, how we interact. So if more people interact with negative comments about Muslims, then when you ask it to write something about Muslims, most probably it will be negative. It's quite interesting. It's not very difficult to understand this. So what happened, what this particular research found out, that 66% of the times when they asked uh, chat GPT to GPT-3 to write about Muslims, uh, it wrote negative things like violence, like bombs. When I was discussing about this particular thing, so one person said that, jokingly said that Muslims with AI can make bombs. And this is what directly come from this stereotypes. These are stereotypes, which such stereotypes. Let us suppose if that person is talking to me through a chat, then this chat will go to Google's database or some database from where it will use it when someone asks us to complete such a sentence. So this is how GPTs or such artificial intelligence have more things to it. But right now, I'm just concentrating on one part, which is more famous, which is directly affecting us, if not us, at least people relating to my profession, like journalism, like history writing, like media. So what is happening to us is, first of all, it is making it easier to target us. Second, it is itself reinforcing certain stereotypes which are Islamophobic or against the Muslims sometimes. Other thing, now come back to the point, point what Muslims should do. And it is interesting that whenever we talk about science and Muslim community comes in the question, in the picture, so we talk about that how Muslims should behave, or how Muslims should react towards new scientific advancement. Actually, this question arises, there is a history to it. This question arises around 17th or 18th century when Europeans started colonizing the world. Before that, there were mostly Muslims were ruling a lot of regions in the world. There was this Delhi-based region, there was this Iran-based region, there was Egypt-based region or Turkey-based region. So all these areas were covered by Muslims. So what happened was with colonization, the first question which came to the mind of every thinker of the time was how how can these Europeans were not very large in number. Even in India, at the peak of their power, they were never more than 1 lakh British soldiers in India, never. So how come with such a small number they could rule the world? And mostly the answer came that it is because of advancement of science and technology. To some extent, the interpretation was correct, but not always. But the common idea was this, that because of science and technology, advancement of science of technology, Europeans have colonized the world. Now there is this thing which happened after this is there are two types of reaction that came out of it. One reaction was catching up syndrome. Muslims started thinking that they should copy or emulate the what we call mm, Europeans in science and technology. And other reaction, and which was very important to understand, it was that they thought that since because of this science and technology, they created so much havoc, they killed people, they have controlled our territories, they have ruined everything that we had. Therefore, it's evil. We should boycott it. And this is where two kind of trends emerged. One was calling Muslims that we should boycott new science and technology, and other was that we should copy. Interestingly, in my view, both are not entirely correct. Both cannot be correct. I mean, neither this one which say that we should boycott, and other one which was saying that we should copy. Because by copying, what we were saying that we should just follow the steps. We were not putting our efforts to what we call to make new institutions or to come out with new innovations in technology, in science. We were not putting our money into it. We were just following whatever West could produce. We like if they can invent a mobile phone, we can make another copy of it. We can make more mobile phones, but we are not going to innovate. So this is also very important. So now I come back to the artificial intelligence part. The artificial intelligence, what it, what Muslims can do, especially Indian Muslims. First of all, the the very idea. First of all, the very idea that science and technology is evil is sometimes is even today. It's if even not very evident, but still we are lagging behind. Like I see a lot of stories in media where Muslims, Indian Muslims especially, they have opened coaching for students to compete in IAS, IPS, that is civil services by UPSC or other such as examinations. There are few for IITs. There are few. Considering the high number, there are few for IITs. There are even fewer for other colleges, for other courses. There are, but like you can't just think about going to Aligarh or Jamia again and again. You should try to push, we should try to push our children into elite institutions where they could get this particular knowledge, which can be used. Now, other point, which can be used for the community. Now, we can't say that we don't have scientists. We have enough scientists. Actually, we have very many scientists who are doing good in India and abroad. But what is the problem? The another problem is that most of the scientists are very far from the very, their own Islamic scholarship, or the people who are close to Islamic scholarship are very far from the scientific scholarship, the modern scientific scholarship in exact terms. So when it comes down to modern scientific scholarships, So what happens is that what we need is we need a bridge, uh, a very interesting bridge that should be there, that Islamic scholars, that is people who know that how what Muslim community needs, they should also come forward to understand these technologies, these new trends, to use them for the community. And also the people who are already there or who can go there should also be taught or should also come a bit closer to community, because that's how they can use. Because if someone is using, like I'm just saying, someone is just cherry picking something from hadith to demean Muslims, then we need someone who knows this technology to counter it. It's about my own field. So, but the problem is one who wants to do it is not well versed with this technology, and one who is well versed with technology is not into it. Other thing is we need developers. Artificial intelligence, etc., is highly is related to its software, its technology, its computer, its machine programming, its machine learning. So all these things, we need more and more professionals who are good at coding languages, machine languages, who are good at softwares, developing softwares, developing play stores, developing all these things, all these new technologies. Like you can't always follow, you can't always go like as a community. If you think that you are a community, if you really think that you are a community, you cannot always follow someone. You cannot always do this, that look, some European guy has created a chat GPT, so I will use this chat GPT for, okay, you use it. But you should also invest in creating something new. What is our stake in this new ecosystem? What we are creating in it? You know, this is something very, we don't know that if we can really achieve this or not. But this is the very important thing, that we should have our own stake in the whole uh, new technological advancement. Like if there is a chat GPT, then we should also create something, or we should directly interact with all these big institutions which are creating these things. Like Google is making something, MIT is making something. What is the stake of Indian Muslims in that? Where are we as Indian Muslims? Not as someone who is getting his salary for himself. I'm talking about as a community, what is our stake in the development? Because if in the development stage, as I have just pointed out about a Stanford University research, that there is a anti-Muslim bias, there is an anti-Muslim bias. So if we are not in a development state, we can never address this problem. Yeah, we can never address a problem until we are in the development stage of this. Other thing is that as a Muslim, we should also think about the social impact of AI. We should also think that AI, different AI techniques, AI in transportation, AI in writing, AI in medical, etc. How will we deal with a lot of people who will be unemployed because of this? As a community, we have to think about that. That is also very important. I'm not here for many solutions, because I think solutions are not easy. But I think the more important thing is that we need more technological professionals, technocrats, who are rooted in Islamic learning and who are close to the Muslim community. We need more Islamic scholars who are close to the community to learn these technologies. Another point, which is very important, that we need our own stake in the development and innovation of these technologies. Yes, we need our own stakes. We need to be need to be the creator of certain technologies. We cannot just follow. If we are not in the development stage, we will always be in that phase of the colonial era where we were slaves because they were creating technologies. With technologies they used to control the whole world. They are still controlling the whole world. So this is another point. And the third point, which is very important, while looking at artificial intelligence, data, sciences, technologies, we should also look at our community, which is sometimes people will get unemployed because of these technologies. What will we do with them? How to accommodate these people with it? Maybe uh, we can have institutions or something to make them learn these new technologies so that they can regain some other kind of uh, employment. So this is also very important. This is what I wanted to say. I think kind of I have taken quite a lot time of all the people, and thanks a lot again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for this detailed explanation and giving the insights that how this AI is working against and how we can work as a in a community to have a better future. Because we all know that this AI and these all are going to be a future only. So we have to be incorporated and we have to work together. Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to ask Major Muhammad Ali Shah, sir, to take up the and start. Yes. Hello, sir.
Hello, Mahira. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, adab. Jai Hind, everyone. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here on the IMPAR webinar. And I think Saqib Salim Bhai covered it very, very well. And he's left little room for me to put in my 2 pennies over here, 2 cents over here, rather. I would say that. But having said that, I would only say one thing that, many a times we get into self-victimization. We feel, अरे यार, this thing is working against us. ये तो हमारे खिलाफ है. So जब हम ऐसा सोचते हैं, when we actually think of anything negative, it actually happens. The mind can achieve what it can conceive. What you feel, you become, right? So when we talk about artificial intelligence, all about technology, see, there are 2 things that I always advocate. One is, why is our community, the Muslim community, lagging behind? Let's accept it. The very fact is it is lagging behind. The 2 reasons. One is lack of education, and the second is lack of employment. Because there is lack of education, people do not get good employment. Because there is lack of employment, they don't get good money. They can't earn enough to educate the next generation in a good school or a good college. Now, when that happens, I think computer, वो समझता नहीं कि आप हिंदू हो, मुसलमान हो, या सिख हो, ईसाई हो, या पारसी हो, या बुद्धिस्ट हो, वो बस काबिल समझता है ना. So one is, we have to make sure that we are better than the best, be it artificial intelligence, be it technology, be it in any language. So I strongly advocate the very fact that, because Saqib Bhai has covered everything so beautifully, I do not want to repeat the same things, because amazing. I learned so much from Saqib Bhai. So I would like to say that learn technology, learn English, learn languages which are universal. Someone told me, I don't know how far it's true or not. किसी ने मेरे को अभी हाल ही में बताया कि कुछ एक जगहों में उर्दू और केवल उर्दू की पढ़ाई और अरबिक की पढ़ाई ही होगी और बाकी लैंग्वेजेस एनकरेज नहीं करेंगे. आई डोंट नो इफ इट्स ट्रू और नॉट. मैं नहीं जानता, मगर ऐसा रूमर सुनने को आया. अब रूमर है कि सही है, मैं नहीं जानता. मैं तो उसको रूमर की तरह पे लूंगा. यही बहुत बड़ी एक कमी है हम में. How can we concentrate only on Urdu or Arabic? Tomorrow you go out somewhere and you speak in Urdu and Arabic, it will not really, I'm sorry, I mean, we'll have to cut a sorry figure. So today's world, I would only quickly conclude by saying, make friends with technology. Artificial intelligence, आज तक बस कुछ बोले होगे आप और वो आपके कंप्यूटर स्क्रीन में है. गूगल मैपिंग भी आपको ढूंढनी नहीं पड़ेगी. So make friends with technology and think that you are all tigers in your own field. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So now we are open for questions. If anyone is having any question, we can have. There is a question for, okay. Sir, there is a question for
Yeah,
you.
I was just saying.
Yeah.
So it is from Mehnaz Vani, and it is that is it true that it is taking over jobs of writers? Not completely, not yet, not completely, not yet. But they have started. Like a lot of people I have seen, and it's happening that rather than 3 or 4 people, they are employing just one person because they say that through chat GPT they can at least create very generic articles. And believe me, I have once tried it and I just wanted to know that how correct it is. And believe me, I just put it the silk letter conspiracy. It is a very common thing. You just put it in Google and you will get all the information. But according to it, silk letter conspiracy happened in 1971 in East Pakistan, that is now Bangladesh. Now, this is a completely wrong thing because it happened in 1915 or 16 in India at that time. So the point is that sometimes it's very wrong, and that's why we see that artificial intelligence sometimes create errors which should be addressed. Like I must tell you a very famous controversy. You people must have known around 1 year back or 1.5 years ago, there was this controversy that after Allahabad was named as Prayagraj. So there was this controversy that uh, somewhere Akbar Allahabadi, the name of Akbar Allahabadi was put in a Sarkari website. It was put as Akbar Prayagraji. Now, what happened actually, though there was much criticism of government and everything, but actually what happened is that it was error of artificial intelligence. There was the software and they put it to, like, this is a very normal practice which happens, that when Prayagraj was changed, they used it everywhere there was Allahabad, it was changed to Prayagraj. It was simple software. So what happened was there was this Akbar Allahabadi and it became Prayagraj. So this was the error of this. So somewhere I think in a long run, writers, good writers, who like I'm not talking about the generic writers. I'm not talking about content writers. I'm talking about writers. They won't lose their job. Right now there is this excitement, so people are trying, big companies are thinking that they can do away with writers, they can just hire one instead of 4, but it won't, I don't think it will work in a long run. But for content writers, it's true that for content writers, chat GPT can take over.
Thank you, sir. There is an iPhone 3, iPhone. Sir, Maru is writing that he has written his whole research paper with ChatGPT only, with zero plagiarism.
Maruf Saab, ye matlab, I'm happy that you have written, and it might be
Go against him also.
it might be anything, but the point is sometimes there are errors. At least in history, there are errors. I've checked it for myself that there are errors in history. I don't know about other disciplines, what's happening there, but with zero pledge, it can happen, but it's very problematic. If it's happening, it's very problematic for humans because human reasoning should have a place. I think it's about
Sir,
ethics.
there's a lines where it back comes, but we have I have prompted a statement that make it unique, so it will rewrite the whole sentence and make it 0% plagiarism.
Yeah. But look, if you really look into the, uh, I don't know other aspects, but there is one thing which plagiarism, etc., that everything, even plagiarism, the software to know it is also artificial intelligence. So I don't know about how chat GPT will replace writers, but I think the creative writers won't be replaced because like you say that if you ask it to create a shairi, it can create a shairi, but it cannot create a ghalib. You know, matlab, I don't think that it can create a ghalib or it can create iqbal. It can create something which you want. Matlab, it can be a shairi, perfect with meters, etc. But it cannot be those thought process with a complex human mind is. I hope that it won't happen. At least I hope.
Sir, Abid is having question for you. Maybe he'll. Abid,
Hi.
sir.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Abid. Like I've gone through with everything that, it's been all perfect, excellent. Like, whatever we wanted today as well, it's all there, right? So the only thing is that, if anyone who doesn't really speak English, do we think that, there's no life for him now anymore?
I don't think it's like this. I think there is a life for all the languages, and there are scholars of every language in the world. Or like it's just about the how thriving economy you are living in with your language. Like Germans are writing in German, Russians are writing in German. They are doing excellent job because their economy is backing them. Right now, while writing in Hindi, like writing in Urdu, writing in Bengali, we don't have that kind of support from economy. Like if I write in like I give my own example. I write in 3 languages: English, Hindi, Urdu. Okay, so when I started writing, तो मैंने शुरू में I don't know if you can understand Urdu. Should I speak?
Yeah. I
हाँ,
mean, yeah, I
तो
speak Urdu exam. I mean, I'm from Kashmir.
हाँ जी जी, तो हुआ ये कि शुरुआत में हमने कुछ चीजें उर्दू में लिखी, कुछ हिंदी में लिखी, कुछ अंग्रेजी में लिखी। कुछ दिन बाद मतलब कुछ अलग अलग फ्रीलांसिंग करते थे हम, तो कुछ दिन बाद हमें ये समझ में आया कि जब हम हिंदी में या उर्दू में लिखते हैं तो पैसा कम मिलता है, अंग्रेजी में लिखते हैं तो पैसा ज्यादा मिलता है, तो हमने अंग्रेजी में लिखना शुरू किया। ठीक है?
Exactly. I mean, that's the point.
हाँ,
That's the point. But
जी
what I was thinking is that, like, if I don't speak English, so that means that, I still have a life because, like, we have more than, like, 1,000 languages around the world, right?
yeah
And everyone is doing best with their own language, with their own, the country culture we have. So, like, that's fine. I mean, one of the reasons for me is to put this thing that, to make people more, look, if we don't speak English in this world, but we still have a life and we can still do things, because it depends the skills, it depends the intelligence you have in a side. So that's what I mean. Thank you very much.
yeah.
If anyone having any questions, so we can take up for just 2 to 3 questions if anyone is having. Or we can. Or we can have a concluding remarks from our speakers. So I'll go with Major Mohammed sir. Sir, have a concluding remarks on this topic.
Okay, Myra, thank you very much. You're doing a great job, and in fact, IMPAR doing a great job. And concluding remarks on this topic, I think Saqib Bhai has actually, I feel, dwarfed compared to his knowledge. His knowledge on technology, on artificial intelligence is way ahead, and I think we should. अगर हम उन बातों पे छोटी-छोटी बातों पे अमल करेंगे ना, तो हम बहुत आगे निकल जाएंगे. That is what my concluding remark is. Thank you very much. Take care and
Thank
Jai
you,
Hind.
sir. Saqib sir.
शुक्रिया सबसे पहले मतलब आपकी टीम का और शाह साहब का, और आपने मुझे ये मौका दिया कि मैं यहाँ पर बोला। और आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस ये सब नए टॉपिक हैं, तो अभी हम भी समझ ही रहे हैं और शायद सभी लोग एक समझने की दौड़ में हैं, तो हम सब मिलकर समझें। और ये जरूरी है कि हम जैसे पहले कभी हुआ है सर सैयद के जमाने में कि आगे निकल गई दुनिया और हम पीछा कर रहे हैं, ये ना हो। दुनिया जब चल रही है तभी उसके साथ हम जुड़ पाएं, ये जरूरी है। और सेशन का फायदा तभी है जबकि कम से कम एक इंसान इस बात को समझ पाए।
Thank you so much, sir. So we'll be uploading this on our YouTube channel. Recording, we'll be uploading the recording on YouTube channel. So now I think we should finish this because we are not having the questions also, and we are running the time also. So thank you so much everyone for joining. Thank you, Sakib sir, for giving this much insightful talk, and we'll be planning to have a series-wise a session on these topics. So we'll be contacting you in future terms also. Thanking you. Now I thanks Major Muhammad sir for always being there and accepting our invitation to talk about anything, whatever we want to do. Thank you everyone. Thank you, Maruf. Thank you, Manaz. Thank you.